Hi, and welcome to Chat Central. Today we have with us a professional MMA player. He's had a track record of 7 wins, including a very recent one. He's also been nicknamed Saint Lion. Let's welcome Gary Mangat. Hi, Gary. Welcome to Chat Central.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. So, Gary, tell us and take us back to the journey of how you became an MMA player. You were going to go into accountancy and you were going to go become a CGA. So, how did this transition come into play?
For me, it was just one of those things. I went to a Sikh youth camp, and from at a Sikh youth camp, I was just inspired by the spiritual teachers that were there. From there, I just realized the self-discovery of knowing my own heritage and my own roots. And from there, mixed martial arts just kind of took over. And I just went on a crazy discovery that went 24 hours at a time. And here we are, about 7 years later. And every single day, I just take the teachings of my past and just apply them and just grow every single day.
That's awesome. So now you mentioned that you've been doing this for the last 7 years. I know in this profession, there's a lot of discipline and hard work and dedication that goes into it. But I want to ask you, what is it like being an MMA player? What is it like waking up and knowing that you're going to go do the fight and walking into that ring, having an opponent? How does it feel? What are the emotions like?
It's a lot of different emotions. It's a roller coaster. There's happy emotions, there's very nervous emotions, there's anxiety, there's just what ifs, so many what ifs and stuff like that. But all these things disappear as you prepare for the fight. As you prepare for, usually preparation for a fight is about 3 months, about 2-3 sessions a day. So
for one single fight, you prepare?
For one single fight, not knowing what's going to happen in that fight, you try to cover as many disciplines. The thing about it is like boxing and stuff, it's one discipline. For us, it's several. There's boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, strength training. All those things have to be covered in a week, and they have to be covered about 2 to 3 times a week. So if you take each one of those disciplines, add 3 sessions a week onto that. And that's the thing about mixed martial arts. A boxer can become very good at boxing because that's all they do.
Yeah.
For us, there's such a balance we have to keep because it's mixed martial arts. A fight may go to the ground, a fight may stay standing. And you have to be constantly disciplined. You have to have the mindset of a mixed martial artist and not become too much of a boxer, not too much of a kickboxer, not too much of a wrestler, because everyone mixes things very well together at a very world-class level now.
Wow, I didn't even know that. So in a typical day, how many hours do you train for, if you're training for a fight, let's say?
It goes anywhere from 5 to 6 or 7 hours. And that's just not all the way through. There's usually 2 to 3 sessions a day. Sometimes I'll wake up about 8, 9 in the morning, do about 2 hours with my trainer, then go to another gym, travel somewhere else and go to another discipline, and then finish up at nighttime. And then plus there's eating in between, plus you got to schedule your naps and stuff.
So 24 hours are revolved around
24
just
hours.
Training.
It's a 24-hour lifestyle. It's not just about 7 hours of training. You're in between those, you got to do things right. You can't just train hard and go eat McDonald's after.
No.
You have to take care of your body. You got to recover it because the next training session might be just as hard because you're not training with the same guys, and they might have the same thing scheduled to go very intense today. So you got to know how to recover your body every single day, and it's a 24-hour lifestyle. You have to live like that. There's no shortcuts. Your mind has to be constantly on alert, and you can't really think about anything else besides what's coming.
Besides
out.
what you're doing.
Yeah.
So talking about the fight that you recently won, congratulations,
Thank
by
you.
the way.
Thank you.
Last month, tell us a little bit about that.
I was going up against an undefeated fighter who hadn't lost a fight. It was in his hometown.
Didn't that scare you?
Of course it did. And the thing is, I train in the presence of fear. I train knowing that my opponents are so much better than me, knowing that my opponents are probably doing so much more. And my opponents want to take everything that I've worked towards in one night because that's what they can do. All the wins I've racked up, all the effort, all the people that I've got to like on this path and stuff. All he needs to do is beat me once and that all goes in his bag. That goes all in his marble bag and he takes it home. Or I can beat him and I take all his and I move on.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So yeah, he was undefeated. Yes, I trained like I've never trained before because I knew how many people were tuned in. From India to UK to Montreal to Toronto to here. Everybody was streaming this fight. It was a very big thing. It was put on by an India league. So I trained very, very hard. That's the thing. I obsessed over. I put everything on hold. Relationships, family, basically anything that didn't concern the fight had to be put on hold, and I had to get the support of a lot of people that were on the same track as me.
Such a big dedication, and you won.
Yeah. It only took me about 3 minutes.
Wow.
But that's because I trained a lot harder in training than what the fight night came to. And that's what you aim for. You aim to make your training so hard that the fight comes easy.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. You
It's a
know
lifestyle.
what's coming.
You know what's coming. You train with the best guys. You go through the pain. You go through the pain of everything. You go through injuries. You go through the setbacks every single day that nobody will ever see on camera because it's all done while the lights are off. When the lights shine on the cage, that's when you get to show it off. and I only got to show 3 minutes of it, but there's a lot of things I never got
Well,
to
you
show.
won. You can't complain.
Yeah, exactly. I can't complain about it. I got my work done. I like to get in there, get off work early, as we like to call it, and go home, and that's it. Go home without a scratch on my face, and
Makes
go back to
sense.
my family, and that's it.
So Gary, I've made this little quiz because I want the viewers to kind of get to know you a little better and maybe draw some inspiration from you. So are you ready for this?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so what is the biggest change that you have seen in yourself after being an MMA fighter?
The biggest change would be like, one thing was I was a follower before. I was very weak-minded. I would kind of, you could tell me what I could and couldn't do. If you tell me I couldn't do anything, I'll listen to you. And with mixed martial arts, I just had to break all those walls down. The barriers that we build in ourselves, I had to realize that I could become a leader. I could realize that I could build myself to be whatever I wanted. Whatever the universe I threw out there could come back to me, and I could build my world around me. And it's exactly what's happened. I'm sitting here doing an interview with you. Like, you know what? 7 years ago, there'd be no reason for you to even want to ask me a question. You know what I mean? So I built everything I wanted around me. I built the wins around me. I built the hard work around me. It's because I took control of my life. I took control of it. I grabbed onto it, and that's what I learned through mixed martial arts. My leadership skills, and the same thing I try to, like, you know, as I'm trying to give in the interview to give out to the viewers, is I'm trying to give that inspiration out to them so they can take that and apply to whatever goals they want. They don't have to become fighters, they can become whatever they want. But understand, you have to grab a hold of your own life, take control of it, make no excuses, and just work towards it. That's really it.
Perfect, well said. What according to you is the biggest attribute an MMA fighter must have?
The biggest attribute is the 3 things that my father's taught me about anything I do in life: hard work, dedication, and faith. Because they're the 3 things, faith especially, because I find great strength in my roots, and because I do come from a warrior background, and from that, anything that I've really been tested with in fighting, any injury, any broken bones, anything like that, I know that my ancestors have been tested so much more. And from there, if they got through what they did, there's no reason I can't get through what I did. And then hard work and dedication. My parents came from India. They built their life here. To give me these kind of opportunities, they built it on hard work and dedication. They had a vision about it. They made it happen, and that's it. There is no other excuse. There's no shortcuts in life. There's nothing of that. If I put in 8 hours of work, that's the kind of result I'm going to get. If I put in 20 minutes of work, that's the result I'm going to get. If I'm just going to sit around talking about it and not do anything about it, that's the result I'm going to get. And
that is so inspiring.
Once you take control of that and you realize those things and you take a hold of those, it's a very powerful thing. If you can live that lifestyle 24 hours at a time, every single day, every moment of the day, it becomes very powerful.
It's powerful. Yeah, exactly. Something that you learned about this profession that you did not know earlier.
Just how tough it is, and you don't know how hard it is until you really are in there. The fighters out there kind of have an idea, but even my loved ones, my family, my parents, they kind of know how, because when they get on the phone. But it is so tough. It is the hardest thing. You really have to believe in something deep. You have to believe in something very powerful, some sort of vision that makes you want to keep going in there and want to put your body on the line, because your body takes a beating. You lose years off your body. As healthy as I am, you lose years but you have to want to live for something legendary, something more powerful, something that you will be remembered over, something you can give to your community, and know that when you leave from this earth, you can leave something very powerful behind.
It's worth the while.
That's it.
So a lot of people out there, Gary, especially parents of kids who want to go down this path, they're hesitant and adamant about sending the kids because they have their own questions about this profession. Do you have a piece of advice or something that you want to tell them?
My piece of advice would be, I understand there's a stigma around fighting. Stigma being that fighting, negativity, they only go hand in hand. It's something that when you become a mixed martial artist, you realize just how humble and hardworking people are. I learned work ethic through mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
I didn't know it any other way. I knew how to study and stuff, but as in grinding out, working hard, pushing your mind, sweating, bleeding, going through pain, and knowing that you can get through it, that humbles a man. That makes a man. That's what makes you from a boy to a man.
Yeah.
And these are the things.
And all these are real things.
These are all real things that every day that you get pushed down, once you become obsessed with it, you'll see the change in your child. You'll see
it's like the physical transformation too.
The physical transformation and the mental transformation, and you'll see them take it out in the streets. Yeah, if you're surrounded by the wrong mixed martial artists, it can go another way. But it's all about surrounding yourself with a good, positive vibe and training yourself to the hardest. And then, like me, I've learned so much about life, on how one day I'll have to raise my child, or one day, like, you know, when I move on to the next step in life, on how to handle my relationships and everything through mixed martial arts. The clarity of mind on how
being honest with yourself,
being honest, being a good son, being a good father one day. These are all things I learned in mixed martial arts. This is kind of street knowledge, I like to say. And this is because of mixed martial arts, not some textbook that I picked up from the library.
Exactly, these are life lessons.
That's it.
Well, thank you so much for those great insights. It was wonderful and an honor having you here for Chat Central.
Thank you. It was an honor being here.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching Chat Central. See you next Monday.